So everybody knows who this guy is, Mr. Number 97, hockey prodigy. So drafted by the Oilers in 2015, this guy has become the number one guy in the NHL, no doubt. Hart trophies, scoring titles, everything you name it, he's won it all except for the Stanley Cup. So that's a very good draft pick, of course, no doubt. Nobody needs to question that. But what has happened to all those first round picks by the Oilers after that 2015 draft? Let's take a look at that now on this episode of Full Time Hockey, Oilers Edition. So in 2016, the Oilers drafted 4th overall because they didn't do too well in that rookie season of McDavid's, because he was driven into the boards by Brandon Manning and broke his collarbone. So that season for the Oilers didn't turn out well, as they missed the playoffs, and they got to select the 4th overall best player in that draft, and that ended up being Jesse Puljujarvi, who was supposed to go 3rd overall, and Columbus Blue Jackets didn't take him and took another problem child in PLD, as everybody knows now. So Puljujarvi, highly touted prospect, drops into the laps of the Edmonton Oilers at 4th, and they spat out their lunch to grab him immediately. However, as the story unfolds, everybody knows now that Puljujarvi did not pan out for the Oilers, mainly due to a few reasons. Oilers didn't really train him in the right way, didn't use him in the right way. Some coaches kind of misused him, and basically he wanted out, went back to Finland, had a few problem years, didn't want to play the Oilers, and came back, still couldn't make it. He played a little bit better, but then caught COVID, came back after COVID, and then was not himself at all, and basically he was ran out of town. Okay, so the last contract offered to him by the Oilers was a 1-year, $3 million contract, and in the mid-year of 22-23, he was traded to the Carolina Hurricanes, even moving to Carolina and joined his Finnish pals in Aho and Teravainen and a few other players. It did not pan out, and the Hurricanes did not qualify him after that end of the year, and then he was moved on and signed by the Pittsburgh Penguins to a 2-year contract worth only $800K per year. So that's the story of the highly touted Puljujarvi. He was a fan favorite, but ultimately, after many years of struggles and going back and forth and trying to salvage his relationship and career with the Oilers, it did not work out, and basically he is an NHL bust, because he's not playing very good in the Pittsburgh Penguins organization either, as last year he was only able to play 22 games, score 3 goals and 1 assist, 4 points total. So this was the first rounder after the McDavid era, or after the McDavid pick in 2015, and he's still in the NHL, but nowhere near where he was supposed to be, as he had a very high draft pedigree and gave high hopes to his bidders. Anyways, the next one, in 2017, we got the 22nd overall pick. So the Oilers lost famously in the second round of the playoffs to the Anaheim Ducks, after the Oilers blew a 3-0 lead, because many Ducks were on top of Cam Talbot while he was trying to save the goals. And then the Ducks tied the game up, won it in overtime, and then eventually won the series. So Oilers made it to the second round, didn't finish, got the 22nd overall pick, and with it they picked Kyler Yamamoto. So he's a small, half American, half Japanese kid from Spokane. And in terms of small, he doesn't really have the size to be an NHLer, weighing only 153 pounds and at 5'7". So he's lacking in size, so probably that contributed to his position now in NHL, which is a UFA at the moment without a contract. So the Oilers selected him 22nd overall in 2017. Okay, he spent 2 years down with the Condors, and then he came up to the Oilers, to the big club, basically in 2019-20, and remained with them, and basically was playing on the line with Draisaitl and the Nuge. So together they formed a line here with Draisaitl centering him, and he was pretty successful. And as that year in 21-22, he scored 20 goals and 21 assists, so 41 points. That was his career high. And playing along with Draisaitl and the Nuge. Okay, then with that scoring year, he earned a pretty nice contract with 3.1 million per for 2 years. But after that first year of the new contract, where he only scored 25 points that year instead, the Oilers had to do a cap dump, as he wasn't very, how should we say, impactful in the playoffs, and he was sent along with Klim Kostin to the Detroit Red Wings for future considerations. So basically just a full cap dump. And not even a month later, Detroit traded him away to the Seattle Kraken. And his final NHL year, or last year, which was 23-24, he played for the Seattle Kraken and notched 16 points in 59 games. Afterwards, his contract expired last season, and the Kraken did not extend him. So now he's a UFA and still without a contract at the moment. So right now, little Kailer Yamamoto's job security in the NHL is a little bit at risk, and already end of August coming. He might not be able to find a job, and maybe that is it for him. Well, hopefully he does find a job, because he was a great player with Draisaitl, and it was one of another favorite in Oilers town, of course, Yamo. But again, he was another failed project in the Oilers organization, as he didn't quite pan out the way probably Ken Holland thought he would, and like a smaller size skilled player weaving in and out, like maybe a Patrick Kane or something like that. His size really was a big issue, preventing him from being probably a better forward or a more powerful forward. Because he was banged up pretty badly at times and injured easily, because really one big hit from a big guy from the opposite end and he's out. So that's another first rounder that the Oilers had invested in that ended up going elsewhere, and then right now I'm probably without an NHL job. Okay, the next guy, see, his name is in a different color because guess what? He's the only first rounder left since after the McDavid draft that's still playing on the Oilers team, and as a matter of fact, he's been playing pretty well, and he's gonna earn a big contract next year, as you can see in the stats last year. Okay, he's making 3.9 million for last year and the coming year, and in 81 games played, he scored 82 points, okay, 18 goals and 64 assists, many of those on the power play, of course, as he quarterbacks the new powerful power play now on the Oilers. So he's making about or he's producing about 1.53 points per 60, okay, so that's basically a point per game, or a bit more over that, so 82 points in 81 games. And he's going to earn a huge paycheck on his next contract, which we're probably looking at about like $9 million or $10 million, somewhere in between that range. So this guy has been developed pretty nicely, and is on the right trajectory for the Oilers, and he's going to be one of the top, maybe between top 5 and top 10 defensemen in the entire league. So Mr. Evan Bouchard is the exception on this list, as he's currently still active with the Oilers and will probably be remaining to be an active player for the Oilers for quite some time along the road. Okay, so the next two with the asterisks, everybody knows now, since that surprising offer sheet from the St. Louis Blues to both Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. So they did not match, or the Oilers did not match, so both these guys are going to St. Louis now. That was just terrible asset management by the Oilers brass, because they spent quite a long time developing Philip Broberg, as they wanted him overripened down in the A. However, he didn't agree to that. He thought he was probably a full-time NHLer instead of wanting to play in the A. and he wanted to trade out of the Oilers organization last year and higher salary, of course, because both these guys are playing on the ELCs. Plus, the Oilers kept them at bay this year, especially in the off season. They just let them float around because they wanted to take care of a more important business and probably Draisaitl's contract instead of quickly grabbing these two RFAs and settling them down in an organization to keep them here at least for another few years. They just let them float, and then eventually they were picked up by St. Louis because St. Louis targeted these two players. They saw two RFAs lying around, two original first-round picks. One as a forward, one as anticipated to be a very good stud defenseman. So they pay him early now, $4.58 million to Broberg and $2.29 million to Dylan Holloway to play 2 years down in St. Louis. However that works out, we don't know. But if they do become better players down there, then that's just another blow to the Oilers organization for really mishandling them. What a waste! What a waste of basically 2 first-round picks that are pretty high prospects and were vital to rejuvenating the youth of the team. Now these two 22, 23-year-olds are out, and what a waste. Too bad. Okay, so the next guy in 2021, the Oilers selected Xavier Bourgault, with the 22nd overall pick. They originally had the 20th overall pick, but they traded down to the 22nd overall pick, as well as the 90th overall pick. And with the 22nd overall pick, they selected Xavier Bourgault, so a French kid over in Quebec from the Q. He is projected to be a skilled power forward, but we have given up on him early already because he did not pan out in the Bakersfield, and he was traded out to the Ottawa Senators just this last July. So in that deal, he was packaged along with Jake Chason to go to the Ottawa Senators for Roby Gerventi and the 2025 4th round pick. So that was a quick decision by the management to let him go early. They didn't even suit up for one game for the Oilers, except for preseason games. So no chance given to him. So again, I think this is another major mistake by the organization, because instead of drafting Bourgault, they could have kept the 20th overall pick while this stud Swedish goalie prospect and Jesper Wallstedt was available with the 20th pick, but we traded down instead, and we let this stud goalie prospect go to another team when we don't have a stud goalie prospect in our system, for the future. And then we had to grab Jack Campbell, and everybody knows how that turns out. So this is a double whammy by the Oilers. You take Xavier Bourgault, 2 years later you let him go. So that was a waste of a first rounder. And even before that, in the trade deadline in 2019 or 2020, there were rumblings to upgrade the team by trading out Xavier Bourgault with another player or whatever to get a package back in return that could make the team play better in the playoffs. But they didn't do that. They said Xavier Bourgault is going to be a good prospect and he's going to play on our team, blah, 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 blah. And then, bam, he's gone. Maybe that was Jeff Jackson versus Ken Holland. Different views, different thinking on, how to handle these prospects. But, so that's another first rounder down the drain. So the final first round selection on our list here is Reed Schaefer. So in 2022, with the pick, we selected a big power forward in Reed Schaefer, but he did not suit up for any games for even the AHL team in the Bakersfield Condor, because he was quickly traded out to grab our star defenseman now, Mattias Ekholm. So he was packaged along with another first round pick, Tyson Barrie, and a 4th round pick to get Mattias Ekholm, and a 6th round pick back from the Nashville Predators. So everybody knows how that turns out. Ekholm is a big part of our team now. He's a core member, or the best defensive defenseman on our team, paired along with Evan Bouchard. So new top pairing, Without him, I don't think we would have such good success in the recent playoffs. And yeah, so 2 first rounders, Reed Schaefer, and the 2023 first round draft to grab Ekholm. So there goes our 2023 first round pick and 2022 first rounder and Reed Schaefer. So not much to talk about him because didn't even see him in action. Barely dressed up in any Oilers uniforms. So yeah, that's another first rounder and our 2 first rounders down the drain. Okay, and last year in 2024. Okay, our first round pick has also been traded to grab Adam Henrique at the trade deadline. So as per the graphics here, a 3-way trade. So the Anaheim Ducks get the 2024 first round pick and 2025 fifth round pick, and Tampa Bay receives the Oilers 2025 fourth round pick as well for salary retention purposes. So Henrique's contract could be cheaper while coming to the Oilers, and then we get Sam Carrick from the Anaheim Ducks as well. So Henrique, not a very star player for for the Oilers, but he's a reliable defensively and offensively very smart. So he's a great two-way player, and yeah, the team can rely on him to kill penalties and play on the third line as their third line center. So now the Oilers have a very reliable third line that we have lacked for many years, as Connor Brown, Matthias Janmark, and Adam Henrique can take care of business there on both ends of the ice and lead a great two-way line. So 2024 first rounder also traded out, and yeah, so from 2016 to 2024, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, a total of 9 first round draft picks for the Edmonton Oilers, and there's only 1 player remaining on the team. All the rest have either been traded or not qualified or disqualified from the team. Whatever you call it, they're gone. So 9 first round draft picks, 1 remaining. That just is terrible. That's terrible asset management, especially what has just happened in this offer sheet saga of last week. Oilers have really wasted their time and effort to bring up these 2 kids in developing Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. Just a waste of efforts and a waste of 2 number 1 draft picks or first round draft picks. I hope this is a lesson learned for the Oilers management group. Now maybe with Stan Bowman, maybe they have some new pathways or new ways to handle prospect and their draft picks. So the Oilers really had to learn from this terrible mistake, and or else their cupboards will run dry very soon. The team will not have any young prospects to come up and pick up the torch from the guys that are getting older now, especially now the Oilers are the second oldest team in the league. We really need some fresh blood to take over, keep the team in a good cap management, because they can use the ELC contracts, keep the salaries low so we can pay the stars, or else nothing will work out, and there goes our Stanley Cup championship window. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed this review of our or what happened to our first rounders. If you have any suggestions, or please feel free to comment down below on this topic. And if you really like the video, please consider to subscribe to our channel. Each subscription is highly appreciated, and we hope to see you in the next one. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.